We are live on Old School Tuesday. Turnup.
What's up, everybody? What's up? And just like that, we are back. Yes, Old School Tuesday Turnup is here. That's what I'm talking about. I know I was gone for I don't want to even say how many weeks I was gone, but I was gone for a minute. But anyway, guess what? It doesn't matter. We are here. We are back. We are back with episode 44. And you know, without further ado, I'm not going to sit here and be rambling on. That's not what I'm here for, because I know you all want to hear this. The artist I have on coming on right now. I want to hear his backstory, everything. You guys want to hear everything. So without further ado, please welcome Chicago's own, the last and the original member of the Shy-Lights, Mr. Marcus Thompson. Hey, Marshall.
What's going on? How you doing? That you was jamming, girl.
Thank you. I know you love the theme song. Ain't that a killer theme music?
The music was cooking.
Thank you. I know I love it so much. I know it makes you want to turn up. That's why we played in the intro. Makes you people want to, that when they sit here waiting for the countdown, they can sit here and jam to the music. So it's like it makes you want to turn up.
You was turning it up all right. You're getting down.
Thank you for being here on episode 44 of Old School Tuesday Turnup. Thank you for being here tonight.
Well, it's my pleasure. You know, it's my pleasure to be here to entertain and talk to the people and let them know things that they never probably knew in their life, you know, after 64 years with the show.
Let us say that again. Say it again, Marsha. How many years? Say it again so the fans can hear. Look, you already got fans already making comments. Tell them again how many years you've been in the Shy-Lights.
30th of this month will be 64 years.
Did you all hear that? The 30th of this month, Marcus Thompson has been in the Shy-Lights for 64 years. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. But you know what, Marshall? Let's take it back. Before we get into the Shy-Lights, let's talk about when you were a young kid. And when you were young, being from Chicago, before the success, what was the dream that you dreamed about?
Well, with my family, whole family being musically inclined, you know, coming up at the Wrigley Theater, watching all them shows with my dad, with Louis Armstrong, playing with the top bands there. And my mother played piano, and my uncle played with the circus, Ringer Brothers Bunbury Circus on trumpet. We had a big musical family. Everybody had to play. And we had to play drums. All the boys in the family had to know how to play drums at 3 years old.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Right here, we got pictures of you, your mom, and when you was a young kid and everything. I love the picture right here. When you see pictures like this, you know, what does that take you back to when you see pictures like this?
Well, that's the Easter suit I had on. And everybody on the south side of Chicago, 47 in St. Lawrence, they was dressing like that, so I had to fit in with everybody else, and that's what was happening. On my block, we had DJs, we had comedians, we had guys out of DuSable High School like Red Fox, Quincy Jones, and people like that all on the block. They were on the same, like Lou Rawls, he lived not too far from us. And we just came up with a great musical side. You know, Dorothy Donegan, the top people in the business.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Now I know that you played the drums. How did you get so lucky just playing the drums? And just seeing that picture right there playing the drums, how did you get so lucky, and what made you want to play the drums?
Well, you had to play drums at 3 years old in my family. Well, my uncle was a top drummer of Illinois, Marshall Thompson. I was named after him, his namesake. He was the top drummer in Illinois back at the time. He played with Red Allen, Duke Allen's band. I mean, he was with everybody. And he traveled all over the country. And I used to go up to the Wrigley Theater to see them play at the time when I was a little kid.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Do you get are you seeing the pictures that we have of all the pictures we got going on right now? Because one thing about this show, when I show the pictures, is like it's telling your story. I like to like to show the pictures. We got pictures of you, the drum, of course the hairstyle right here. I mean, do you like when seeing these kind of pictures? What is that moment?
Well, it takes me back. I just seen the one when me and Don Cornelius and E. Rodney Jones was at the Guys and Gals on 6th and 9th Street when we got together and decided to have Soul Train. Oh,
Hmm.
Don Cornelius right on me right there. Look like a little boy.
Hmm. Tell everyone of the story. I know there's a story, a backstory about you and Don Cornelius. The start of Soul Train. Tell us that story.
Well, uh, Don Cornelius was a policeman in Chicago, and then he stopped one of the guys at WVON Radio, which was a top radio station in Chicago that broke all the hits across America, especially the Motown hits in the chat. And he stopped somebody, and Don Cornelius opened up his mouth and had a voice. And the guy said, "Man, where you get that voice at? I want to meet you. Meet us down at WVON radio station." And he came down there, and he got the job down there. And next thing I know, he was doing his thing, and he had his little dance groups around Chicago. Was dancing a lot, and we met down at Guys and Gals, and he decided to have a dance show on the local television show there in Chicago, and he called it Soul Train.
Mm, man, did you ever think that like that name Soul Train would be a success what it is today? Just looking back, and then you all had the chance to be on Soul Train. Did you ever think like, man, this show is really going, it's going to really go somewhere? And then it became now it's a household name. It's part of just TV history.
Well, what happened is when I had started,
Hmm.
I had to get together because we used to be on the local soul train every week. That's before we even got our hit records. We
Mm,
had Don came in the room one day when I went down there. He said, "Marshall, I got a chance to go to California, but I need a pilot. I need for you all to record a pilot for me." So what I did, I round up Jerry Butler, the Dales, Barbara Acklin, the Artistics, and who else was on there? Tyrone Davis. We got together and we went down there and cut a free from a free pilot from, and he sent the pilot to California. And I went back down there and talked to Don. Hey, Don, how did your pilot go? He said, "Man, I'm getting ready to sign a contract in California." I said, "Wow." And he was on his way.
mm. Wow, that's what's up. You guys got to hear first. You got the story. You guys just got the story of the Soul Train. How the Soul Train really got started. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what? That we don't hear. I know they did the show. I watched the show, but you don't hear so much of the backstory. And you never knew about a pilot. You don't hear those kind of stories. And that's why I like bringing legends on the show, because a lot of things they only teach us so much, want us to know, but we don't know. Sometimes they don't tell us everything we need to know about when certain shows or certain songs got started. We don't know the backstory. And speaking of a backstory, we got to get into it. I know everybody's dying to know how and was the Shy Lights form, and why'd you guys come up with the name?
Well, coming out of first of all, we was in high school battling against, it was two groups, the Desideros and the Tours. Eugene
Mhm.
Ruckett and Robert Lester was in the Tours. And myself, Wardell Brown, Dale Brown, and uh, Eddie Sullivan, we was and Creedell Jones, the bass singer, we was the Desideros back in the day. And when we
Mhm.
got out of high school, I ended up trying to get a gig at the Regal Theater downtown. That's the famous Regal Theater. All over that everybody, all the top groups all over the world from there. So I ended up getting going down to the Regal Theater to try to get in and try to sneak in. They used to throw me out in the snow every day. Get out of here, boy. Don't come back. Get on out of here. So they kept throwing me out. So one day I went over to the across the street over there, and all the top groups over there, like Smokey Robinson, all them type of people, they was over there. So we was talking about, hey, well, look, why don't you just go get you a tie downtown, get you a white shirt, get you the black pants, and buy you some black pedal leather shoes. So I got me some pedal leather shoes, and I came back over there where they eat lunch at every day. All the groups used to eat lunch over there, Temptations, Smoky Route and Mill, all of them. And I ended up waiting until the guy who used to throw me out all the time, his name was Sarge. He was a policeman. He used to throw me out every day. So I waited till he went on his lunch break, and I went in there with the rest of the guys with my suit on, and I was sitting in the audience with my suit on, and Gladys was having trouble with her drummer. So Gladys said, "Somebody to play these drums up there." So I raised my hand in the audience. I said, "Miss Gladys, can I play your drums on your show?" She said, "You better come up here. Somebody got to play these drums. Showtime about 3 hours from." So I went on up there, started playing the drums because I've been rehearsing her song down on 47 in St. Lawrence every day for 2 weeks because I knew she was coming. So I rehearsed her show, and I got up there, and Bubbles say, Gladys's brother say, "Man, he got it down pat." So I was playing the drum, wow, wow, wow. And so I got the show. And when it got to the show, that was my first big show I ever played in my life. And the curtains opened up and I seen all them people out there and I froze. My leg would move, my hand would move. I say, stop, stop. I was wailing at sound check. But I got to the show, I seen my mother sitting in the front, my father sitting on the other side, my cousin on one side, all the friends on the block there, and I was doing it. And man, I couldn't do nothing. So Bubba say, "Marshall, play them drums like you did at rehearsal. You can do it. You can do it." So I start easing up just a little. By the time I got to that third song, I start wailing. So I got the job for the whole week.
Yes, that's just like the saying: if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. But it sounds, but not that you froze a little bit, but that's how it be though. But I like that you kept going and going, and then you just killed it, and there you go, man. Sometimes it's always like the saying: you just got to be at the right place at the right time at the right moment, and you was at the right place and got the gig with Gladys Knight. That's what's up. How long was you on tour with her?
When I played with Gladys Knight at the Regal Theater for that week, and then when that was over, I
Mhm.
then ran into Major Lance. He had the #1 record out called Money. So he was downtown. He said, "Hey, Marshall, I heard you play with Gladys Knight at the Regal Theater." I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "Well, you can play with me because my drummer just got drafted. They're going into the war." I said, he said, "Yeah, come on, go on the road with me." So that's how I got my first trip on the road to Houston, Texas. And I went to
Mhm.
Houston, Texas, and I played at the Ray Barnett Cinder Club down there. Okay, with Major
Mhm.
Lance. And Major
Mhm.
Lance was late coming to the show, so somebody had to sing. So I said,
Yeah.
"Whoa." So Ray Barnett said, "Did you sing something on the drums too?" I said, "Yeah, I can do it. Give me that microphone." So he put the microphone on the drums, and I started singing Gene Chandler songs because I
Mhm.
was a Gene Chandler back then. So I sung Rainbow. I sung Nothing Can Stop Me. I uh, I mean, just but I think about three or four of his songs. So the people went
Mhm.
nuts in there. The girls just screaming and screaming. So after the show was over, Ray Barnett told me, say, "Hey, man, you sound good, man. You did a good job in there." I said, "Yeah, it ain't nothing. You should hear my group in Chicago." Yeah. He said, "What's the name of your group?" I said, "They called the Highlights, Marshall and the Highlights." He said, "Well, we only got one problem. They don't know who you all are." So I said, "I tell you what, my manager is here. He's in training Muhammad Ali." I said, let me go talk to Muhammad Ali and
Mhm.
tell him when he put his name up on the marquee out there, he
Mhm.
was drawing the people. So what happened is we used Muhammad Ali's name on the marquee, and he said, "Okay, you bring your guys from Chicago." We drove all the way down there in a station wagon, and we got down there. People was wrapped around the block just for Muhammad Ali. They didn't know that we was gonna come in there and sing.
Oh, wait a minute.
So
I think we.
so in the meanwhile, I was in Chicago working with the Jackson Five. You know, that was my one of my groups. Me and Joe Jackson, their dad, we managed them. So I end up telling Joe, "Hey, Joe, I want the Jacksons to go down to Ray Barnett Center Club in Houston, Texas. They had just released a record called Big Boy. I'm a big boy now. So we sent them down to Houston, Texas. They went
Mhm,
down there and did a great job. Came
mhm,
back, going outside booking them all around Chicago, going on Bonanza Club, Peyton Place, different places like that. So one time they had a talent show at the Wiggle. So me and Joe brought them to the Wiggle Theater, and they did a talent show down there, and they did
mhm,
really good there. So they had a chance to open up the show. Whoever wins the talent show opens up the show at the Wiggle. So they end up opening the show with us, and Bobby Taylor of the Vancouvers was the headliner. Okay, and so I went upstairs to tell Bobby, "Hey Bobby, will you take the satellites to Motown, man? Come on, take us over there with you all." He say, "Marshall, I think about it. Man, we so full over there at Motown, but I see what I can do." In the meanwhile, Michael Jackson and all the guys downstairs, Jackie and Tito and Marlon, they was tearing that place up. Them girls was going nuts downstairs. So so Bobby Taylor say, "Who is that making all that noise?" I said, "Man, that's the little Jacksons, man. They tough. It's the little Jacksons." He said, "So would you take me down there to introduce me to Joe?" So I took him downstairs and introduced him to Joe Jackson. Next thing I knew, the next day from the Wrigley, Joe Jackson called me in the car. They was on their way to Detroit. I say, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He said, "Man, we on know Bobby Taylor taking us to Detroit, Michigan to get us with Motown." I said, "What? What about me? What about me? I asked you to take me." So it's a good thing that he didn't, because we would have got lost in the shuffle with the Temptations, the Four Tops. So we had so many people over there. Supremes, Stevie Wonder, everybody. So we went to Brunswick and got our break. So we was the big artists over there. So it helped. It worked out for us, and it worked out for the Jackson. So
mm.
from there, that's why I was with Joe Jackson all these years, 52 years.
Oh, ooh, that's what I'm talking about. How long did it take you all to record until you got that first hit? Until you got until the Shotlights got the first hit.
Well, we got the first hit to take us to the Apollo Theater was in 1969. That was called "Give It Away." Was the first record. Then when we got back from there, we ran into a new manager, which managed Jackie Wilson. He managed Flip Wilson. He managed Dick Clark. He managed Ray Charles. Who else? Aretha Franklin. So I ended up signing with him, and he
Mm-hmm.
asked us, "How would y'all like to be on the Flip Wilson show?" Huh?
Mm,
Flip show. He said, "Yeah, I want to put you on the Flip Wilson show." I thought he was playing, but he wasn't. He said, "Y'all got uniforms?" He said, "Yeah, we got some gold uniforms, which you're seeing on the screen now. We got some red uniforms with Starlight LCL on it." So he said, "What I want you to bring, Have You Seen Her? Because we had just released Have You Seen Her? And
mm-hmm.
bring that record over with you." So I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, girl, I don't like no old girl." He said, "Bring that record, Old Girl, with you." So we brought Old Girl with us, and we did Flip Wilson's show. In
Mm-hmm.
less than 30 days, Old Girl went straight to number one on the chart, pop and R&B, for 16 weeks.
Mm.
So that's everything. And then, Have You Seen Her? We were singing that on the B side. We thought that was a B side record. So we ended up on tour with Jackie Wilson end up in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Kiel Auditorium. We was on the show with Jackie Wilson, and we did our show, did a great job, I thought. And we came on stage, and people were saying, "Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Have you seen her?" What? Have you seen her? That's a B-side. There ain't no big record. And so I come off stage, and Jim Riggs and Barney Hayes said, "Man, did you hear that crowd out there?" You better get backstage and sing that. Have you seen her? I say, man, we don't know what wrong. Have you seen her? That's a B-side. He said, you better say do 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 do. We went on that for about 15 minutes. That's all we knew. We didn't even know the song no more. And we got a
Wow.
standing ovation. And then I got back to the hotel. I called Carl Davis. I said, Carl, man, we've been singing the wrong side of our record. He said, we already know that we're going to turn it over as soon as y'all get back to Chicago. So we got back to Chicago. They had turned the record over. We started selling 10,000 a day.
Wow. What is it to know that Have You Seen Her, an old girl, is now a part of music history? What is it about? The minute you hear "oh girl," I can't say "oh girl," you hear it and the song cuts on. You can't help but to sing the lyric. What is it about both the songs that the wider fan, why is it's part of music history? What is it about the songs that in those two songs in particular?
Well, they're sing-along, number one. See, they're sing-along. A lot of songs is good, but they're not sing-along songs. What sticks in your
Mhm.
mind is something that you can think about every day, play it over and over. Now, Old Girl was bigger than Have You Seen Her because Old Girl was a straight crossover song with country western in it. So
Mhm.
when I played that harmonica, we captured the country western people as well as the R&B. And when you get an R&B record and a pop record at the same time, you're on your you'll be out there forever on that same record if you want to. We're still singing off Old Girl and Have You Seen Her today with all our other big hit records that we had. But those two is the one we bet not go on that stage without those two records.
Yeah, I know. It's like I said, it's just something about old girl. It's to come, like I said, back in them days. I know for sure. And most of our fans that's in here, a lot of girls are making comments. You got a lot of people in here making comments. Someone said they remember when you, Colleen Jenkins said, she said, make a comment. She remember when you all came to the Big Papa or something. I seen a comment come by. But I know a lot of people, a lot of fans in here can say, old girl was the baby making music. So a lot of babies was made off that
Well, man,
song because
a lot of babies out for Old Girl and Have You Seen Her now. A lot of babies
yeah,
was made.
yes, most definitely. Most definitely. You got a lot of people in here in the fans. A lot of these people in here making comments. They know the dang on song. They sitting up here. Yes. Okay. Colin Jenkins said you used to come to Papa Big Bag in Flint, Michigan. That's what she said.
That's one of our favorite places to play. Papa's Bag.
Mm.
We used- we love Papa's Bag to play, man. All the people come out. They be stopped wrapped around the corner. She'll tell you. They're wrapped around the corner, waiting to get in there to see the Starlight Show.
Yes. And Renee Jemison said you brought us the Jacksons. Yes.
Right on. Well,
Yeah.
they my day. I'm just like family with the Jacksons. You know, I've been with them 50. I was in with them before some of them was born. Really, friend of the family.
Yes, Shirley, a woman named Shirley P said she loved the way you played a harmonica on the "Oh Girl." She loved the She said you got a fan in here love the harmonica.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, that
Yes,
brought it home, Western side.
and then of course Tracy's in here. You know, one from Soundcheck on Sunday. She said the her harmonica. Yes, yes, most definitely she loved it. So yes. Thank you, Tracy, for being here. Thank you for doing and being here for Soundcheck for us. If you didn't know, you all, Tracy was here on Soundcheck on Sunday, and she was here for the whole. We had two different soundchecks, and she was here for all of it. So yes.
Yay,
So
yay,
now,
yay.
but the fans, they were making comments. They love you, Marshall. They're glad that you're here telling the story. They are loving the story, everything. But to know that, you saying about R&B music and everything like that, but after that, like, how would you guys able to continue the success of Charlotte's? I remember in high school, I told you I used to watch the My Music Now. And I see you all up there in the yellow and everything. You guys come how because I know some groups, they don't think long Jeopardy. Some of them break up. But how was the Charlotte's able to stay together?
What was the type of hits that we had? First of all, we had 37 Billboard records. That's a lot.
Mhm.
And they wasn't the top. but it was all in the top 100. So some of them was 87, some of them was number 5, number 4, and we had 2 number 1 albums, and we had 2 number 1 singles. So we had enough records to sustain our livelihood for today, you know. And people know those. We had requests, like in Las Vegas, where we at now. We have requests all the time for different cuts that we forgot all about almost, and but they want to hear them. Sing.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And that's good that and like to know the fans, they request certain things and you have to go back and like, whoa, wait a minute, they still remember this? Like, yeah, that's when you know you have true fans that still remember every song that you recorded, every song that you have done. Cheryl, okay, one of the fans said the Shy Lights were my favorite group when I was in high school in the 70s. So you got someone who was there in high school from the 70s. All right now. See, I told you, Marshall, the fans are cutting up. See, they just love you. They love you. I'm glad you're here. That's what I'm talking about. But with all your success, is 64 years in the Shy Lights, and the book you have come out. Yes, you guys, there is a book. There is a book. Would you tell the fans what you want them to know about your book and what story why they need to go get this book?
But a lot of the stories that I tell you right now that we're talking about is in the book. That's the last man. You have to really get into it and read it, and all the actions trying to make it pay in the business. If you read that book, you're gonna be kind of ahead of the game because we telling you stories. I was talking about true stories of what happened, what it takes to make it in the business. We was back in the day when it was rough. I mean, it wasn't easy for us. 64 years we was there. We was doing shows. A lot of times we didn't get paid. You know, we had to go through all that. So you got to be prepared. You got to be strong. Be able to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Pray on your music, and try to keep everybody together as long as you can.
Yes, yes. Now since there's the book, what would you say? This is my question because I would love to see this happen. There's so many artists like the Temptations. They had their movie. New Edition had their movie. Aretha just had her movie. What would you say if they want to come to you for the Shy Lights the movie? What would you name the movie and what kind of story would you want told?
Well, we would go with our movie. We've been getting a lot of offers right now, especially now since they didn't make me Dr. Marcus Thompson. You know,
Yeah.
but we get coming from where right now, but we just haven't decided which one we're gonna take. You know what I'm saying? So we're working on that. A lot of stories that we would tell in there is really the reality of the music, because the groups that was with us went through just about the same thing. The Whispers, the OJs, all of us grew up together. We came in the musical scene together. We hit the road backwards doing our shows. We went through the rough times, the good times, the bad times, and the blessed times. You know, we've been all over around the world. Australia, Italy, France, Guam, Singapore. Even we went up to Greenland, up there where them polar bears at. We sang up there in Greenland with the military. Okay? Hawaii. I mean, you name it, we have played there before. We had a great run.
Yes. Now I do say this is for me. So once you guys get the movie, there should be somewhere extra or something. I think you should throw Pricilla Watley somewhere up in there. I'm just throwing myself out there.
Right on. Right.
You already know.
Just throwing myself somewhere. I should be up in there. I think I should be in there somewhere up in there. You know, I should Pricilla should definitely be in the shot. Like somewhere I can play somebody. Like, I ain't got to be seen. I could just be there. You know, extra. If you need extra, I'm right here.
You got to take them shots when you can, just like on this show today.
Yes, that's
you got more to listen to you than think you are.
Yes, thank you. I know. Like you took a shot with Gladys, I'm taking a shot for myself in the movie. I'm gonna try to. I'm speaking it into existence. Pricilla Watley will be in that Shotlight movie, so I'm putting that in existence, letting y'all know. You know, if y'all see me in there, be like, I remember when she said that. So I'm putting it in existence. I'm putting it out there, Marshall. I'm putting it out there now. Go ahead and get that out there.
You have to do what you have to do to make it work. Just like in Las Vegas, we have a total different show than basically what you was seen when we played the auditoriums, when we was on the 70s Soul Jam, things like that. Our Las Vegas show is more up close and personal. After we sang the hits, I tell the story of how we made that hit. I tell you the
Mm,
story what came us making that particular record. People love it. And the next
mm.
song, bang, hit them with the next song. Okay, then we got the production there. We got the background, the scenery, the lighting. Always beautiful in Las Vegas.
That's what I'm talking about. You know I'm gonna be there next year. I'm definitely going. I gotta go. Anybody out there? We gonna talk about it. We're gonna put it up here. We're gonna talk about Vegas here in a minute. But Marshall, what would you say? How would the fans, when people, what do you want the fans to feel when they hear your music?
Well, I want to take you back to memory lane with your families, with the time that your
Mhm.
families was the loved ones that you was with, that you lost your loved ones. It brings you back into memories, give you something to think about, and it make you feel what you really want to feel within your heart. Okay,
Mm,
and if you do, it takes you a long way. Just like we got you looking at me and Don Cania's son there. Oh, he is
mhm,
fantastic. He
mhm.
we talk about his father all the time. And you see me and
Mhm,
Smokey Robinson, Barry Gordy Jr. there at Jack Wilson's when he got his star in Hollywood. That was a year before we got our star in Hollywood. Okay.
mhm.
Then they got
Yes,
Jimmy Kimball. Jimmy Kimball, I was with Jimmy Kimball about 3 weeks ago with him, enjoying him. You know, we was talking about his TV show, and there's Gladys Knight, the one that gave me my first break, right there. That she is right there with me.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We make sure we take it. And this guy right here, if you don't know who this is, I don't know,
That,
fans, to tell you.
that's my main man. That's the guy I used to go to the store for at the Regal Theater when I was a kid. I used to go to the
Yes,
store for him, the guys, right across the street,
yeah.
and give them some hamburgers. And he's so happy for me, uh,
Mhm.
more making it music business all the way. He tell me, he called me, Marshall, man, you went on and did your thing. I said, well, y'all did y'all thing too. So we have, and he said, now you Dr. Marshall Thompson, you graduated last Sunday in Houston. He got his doctor's degree. Now I got my doctor's degree. Oh,
Yes.
I'm really, you talking about an exciting moment. That was one of the exciting moments of my life. I thought when we got our Hollywood Walk of Fame star in Hollywood, I knew that I was excited about that. That went all the way, but getting an award from the President of the United States, the Lifetime Achievement Award he gave me, and then you turn around and get the award from the was it the House of Representatives from Houston, Texas? Man, I
Mm,
come tell you, I cried for about an hour
mm,
coming off of
mm.
47 stars. They get those kind of awards. Come on.
Man, that's beautiful. And congratulations on your Hollywood Walk of Fame. Congratulations on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And it just could look at that. The kid from Chicago, who look at that. Hollywood Walk of Fame, the Shy Lights. I mean, that is what's up. Yes, definitely congratulations on your doctor award for the presidential. That's what I'm talking. You actually received that. Everyone he received that last Sunday down in Texas.
Right there in
Look at that.
Houston.
Yeah. Yes. I seen on there it was other people also that was also there, but to know, man, to say you was that kid from Chicago, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And that congratulations on your awards and everything. With what would one award you would say that you still like to receive?
Well, we got the top ones now. You know, you can't get no higher than the President of the United States Lifetime Achievement Award, number one. Um,
Mhm.
the Hollywood Walk of Fame is the top when it comes to the top movie stars and things like that. So we next to Sam Cooke, um,
Mhm.
Herbie Hancock, and Jackie Wilson. There's four of us in the same area, across the street from Live Nation, Los Angeles on Hollywood Boulevard. You go right across the street, you go see the Skylight Star there with Sam Cooke and Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, and Herbie Hancock. That was a shocking for me. And then I had told Michael Jackson's family when I spoke at the burial, his burial. Where I didn't speak at the funeral. I was at the funeral, but I spoke at the burial. When we buried him and put him in the mausoleum, I said, man, you know what? We started off together. You know what? We're going to end up together. And you know what? We end up together right there on Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard over there, right with a star. We got a star. Their star is right up the street from ours. That's amazing how the Lord makes these things work like that, but it happened.
Yes. Most definitely. Most definitely. Congratulations on that. Yes. Next time I go back to California, I'm definitely going to be looking for that. But since we're in the holiday spirit and it's getting ready to be Christmas here in another week and a half, I know you got the Christmas song out. Let the fans know about your Christmas song.
Well, I went on and recorded I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas called Christmas. And then we got two of them. We got Christmas Time at Mama's House with Herb Kent, one of the top DJs of Chicago. That one, but I have a solo one on my own, White Christmas, and that's doing very well right now. So we're looking for things to just keep on rolling as they go. You know, there's a new day
Yes.
out here now. But we're trying to stay into the day with everybody else, and we're doing a great job, they say. And I brought brother Jeff Fox from his Sirius
Mm-hmm.
XM. He's on this. He opens up the show for us. He's doing a great job on that bass. I call him the man behind the box, playing that bass.
Yes, that's what I was saying. So, what would you say? Oh, there go another wow, the Shy Lights. Oh, girl, yeah, I had to get that one. I love that picture. That's
Well,
what I was talking about.
that made 30. That record there made 36 of the century. That's
Mhm.
100 years. That went all the way to number 36 out of all records of all time for 100 years. Oh, girl.
Someone said, "Tell them who your new bass player is."
Jeff Fox
Jeff Fox, everyone.
from
Jeff Fox.
Sirius XM Radio. Sirius XM Radio. Jeff Fox, my man, the man who rocks the box.
Yes. And one fan had asked, "Where do they get your book? Where can they get your book from?"
You can get Barnes and Noble. You can get it at Amazon. It's there. This Marshall Thompson. Shy Lights feature Marshall Thompson, Last Man Standing.
All right, all right, Tracy. I'll ask that way at the end. We ain't gonna do that. But I got you. However, before we go, there is a question. They just had on ABC News about royalties, about music artists not receiving their royalties, and now they have to re-record their music and everything. What's your take on about? And they talked about artists not having their masters. Do you think it's important for artists to have their masters?
Well, what happened is before my wife passed away 22 years ago, he told me I had to get into the computers. I hated computers. Computers, give me a pencil and paper or something. So I ended up staying up all night. This been 20 some years ago. And I stayed up all night messing up on the computer, messing up, messing up, messing up. So I ended up learning the computer like crazy. And I took that experience there and helped all the artists. That's why they call me the godfather of vocal groups. Because I started calling Ray Goodman and Brown, all those guys, and say, listen, I'm gonna get y'all royalties for you. And they listened to me and they started going in the computer. I say, okay, go to this, go to that on the computer, because they were learning it as well every day. And they end up calling Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is a big agency that's getting all the artists that recorded records in all the history, they get paid now. So it's not like the old days. The writer and the publisher is the one who used to get all the money. But it changed now. Now it's the artist as well. If you recorded that music, your family, you can be gone and dead and gone, but your family will still be getting your royalties. And I was one of the responsible guys to talk to everybody to get it like that.
What would you say the take on? They know at one point they had the conversation. They talked about how R&B music has taken a backseat. Do you think R&B music has that genre, has become extinct? What's your, because R&B music when I grew up was big, and you don't hear a lot of R&B music now, but can do the hip hop. So do you think R&B music has or haven't taken a backseat?
Well, with the front seat, some of it, because I went in there when I remember going into the radio station, and they was telling me, "Hey Marshall, how do you like rap music?" I said, "Man, I don't like no rap music, man." like no rap music. And then I got a call from Beyonce and Jay-Z and them about a song, Crazy in Love, which was our music. I played Congo drums on the record, Crazy in Love. And next thing I know, they went in there and redid the track of the vocals part and it used our music on Crazy in
Mhm.
Love. And Jay-Z did December 4th, which our music again. MC Hammer did Have You Seen Her Again? Paul Wall did, what did Paul do? Paul did Old Girl. And then K. Michelle, she did That Long Island, which is my favorite song party. And next thing I know, the mailman came with that big check.
Can't touch
I
this.
said, man, I love rap, boy.
Can't touch this.
So you okay? So you definitely are. You definitely say for sampling. You know, a lot of the new school artists like a Chris Brown, and of course what Bruno Mars has done now, and for Function, you know, Love Train, or you know, no, the other song they have. But what Bruno Mars is doing, they sampled his music and make it more new school, but they're taking the old school feel and sampling it and giving it the old school way, but they're giving it a new school sound. So you're okay. You're definitely down for the sampling of for the new artists.
I love it. Bruno Mars is a fantastic artist. He is helping bring in all the music, the real music and the real uh, stage music and everything. He's bringing it all the way back. When I
Mhm.
first seen Bruno Mars, he looked like he had Shy-like clothes on. he was doing the routines like we were when we were 17 years old. And today, look at today. He's doing a great job. He's out there. He was out there in Vegas too at the MGM. I went over there to see him. He did a great job.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. With Marsha, with all your success, okay. So Renee said, "Have you seen her?" Was featured in the movie Dora. Dora, yeah, Dora, the Dora movie.
Finding
With
Dory.
all, yes, yes, with all your success, being in a shot like for 64 years, what would you say now? What would you like your legacy to be?
Well, I think that you all, the public, did a good job with us because I just got 3 awards for last Sunday, as you know. And last year I got the Hollywood Walk of Fame star, and for the group, and it's all owed to the whole group. And I think that we did a great job of our dream. I cut that record called "Hold On to Your Dreams." Dreams are the wings of the mind. You can fly anytime you like. Just keep on going.
Yes. Yes, yes. You know, they have, you know, I'm still waiting. Last year, they had DJ Cassidy pass the mic. I'm still waiting. Would love if he does it for next year, but I would love to see you on DJ Cassidy pass the mic. That's when he bringing all most of the old school, new school artists, and then they just sing over their music and everything. But I would love to see you on DJ Cassidy pass the mic. Have they called out? Have they reached out to you yet?
Not yet, but tell them we're in Las Vegas at the Rio Hotel. We got a residency
Most definitely.
there. You want to find us? Come on out there. And everybody else, if Christmas is coming up, they should get some Christmas presents for their family. To bring them out there to the Rio Hotel, you're going to have a wonderful for your vacation. When vacation come up, start setting it up. We're going back to the Rio Hotel. We open back up on the 19th of February. So it's enough time for you to plan. I tell you what, anybody that have a mother and father still around, that'll be a great gift for them to come to the Rio Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes, that's most definitely. Before go into my game here, Mr. Marshall, I just want to say thank you for being here on Old School Tuesday Turn Up in episode 44. We have been doing this for 2 years, and we'll be going into season 3 here coming up in January. But what advice would you have for someone like me?
Well, I tell you what, you cut in there at the right time. You know what you were doing. You said you go get in the movie. That was a good move. That was smart thinking. That was no move that you made. And somebody is hearing that out there. Our producer that's going to do the movie on us might have heard you. He might say, let's bring on the movie. And that's how it all starts. If you don't open up your mouth and ask for it and pray on it,
Yes, thank you. What do I'm just thinking. You're right. You are so right. You got to open up your mouth these days. And you see what happened. I opened up my mouth and I was able, and I got you here. And I'm like, you know what, and but when I got that call from you, and you like, Pricilla, man, your show is, and I'm like, hey, that lets me know that I am doing something right, and I'm glad to have you on here. We had so many legends on, but to just have you, hey, I'm good. This is a blessing to me. I'm honored to have you here with this on Old School Tuesday Turn Up.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Don't forget, 2023. Let's go to work.
Yes.
Los Angeles, California, also Las Vegas at the Rio Hotel. I'll see you there.
That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Marshall. Tell everyone, tell the fans where can they find you on Twitter. I mean, not well. I don't know. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but Facebook, Instagram. Where can they find you? They can connect.
I'm on everything. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. Marshall Thompson. Marshall, not the junior Marshall Thompson. That's my son. Marshall Thompson Senior. Go on there. Go on the Shy Lights page. Go on Twitter. The real Shy Lights. The Shy Lights official page. Go on there. You'll find us on Instagram. You're going to find us all over the place there along with Jeff Fox from SiriusXM Radio. Anyway, come on out there and enjoy yourself. And you can go on my page today and sign the book in there. Okay? We got a lot of things going on. You hear the advertisement for the real. Let your mother and father hear it. I guarantee you they will love that trip to Las Vegas. We're giving away a couple of trips for free if you call the radio station too. You might win a trip to Las Vegas.
That's what I'm talking about. Tall Boy. Now we gonna be there. We gonna put a date. Well, I need to come. So I'm gonna be there. I'm get. You know what? Forget this. I'll see you next year in Vegas. I'll be there. We can talk about that after the show. But that's what I'll be there. I definitely gonna come. But Mr. Marshall, we're done with that part of the interview. But there's a game I like to play. Like Steve Harvey had Family Feud. I have over here Old School Tuesday Turn Up Feud. Is I ask 10 questions, 60 seconds. I just ask you 10 fun questions, you just answer them, and then next we wrap it up and get up out of here. But we get ready to start the music, and I'm gonna ask you these 10 funny, good questions, and we'll see how you answer them, okay?
Okay.
I like to have fun with my guests. So, Top Boy, go ahead, start the music. Let's get started. All right, favorite ice cream. Favorite ice cream.
Strawberry.
Favorite dish.
Simon.
Favorite movie.
Cowboys.
Favorite comedian. Favorite comedian.
A lot of those. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh wow. There's so many of them. You got me on that one. You got me on that one real fast, but I got a lot of those.
Just one. One.
Let me see. Wow, now I know all of them. I can't even think of one. That's crazy.
Favorite love song.
Favorite love song? That's How Long I Love You.
All right, favorite color.
My favorite color is black and white.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Chicken or ribs?
Ribs.
Grits with salt or grits with sugar?
No ribs.
All right, grits with salt or grits with sugar? Grits.
Grits with salt.
All right, last question. Name one singer, one male singer, one female singer you would like to see come on Old School Tuesday Turn Up. So one female singer.
Well, I would have liked to say the one, but we can't get the one that I would love to be on your show. Now, Rita Franklin is gone now. So, but
right.
She would have been great on your show with some ideas, music. Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah. So go with go with another female singer.
Well, I would say, let me see, on your show today,
Hmm. Old school.
old school, real old school.
Uh, anyone that comes to mind. Anybody.
Everybody then went.
Okay, let's
Everybody.
go with someone alive. Let's go with a female singer that's alive. Anybody come to anybody.
Millie Jackson.
I'll be wanting her on here. Okay, one. That's a good one. One male singer.
With male singer,
Yes.
okay, male singer, Stan Mosley.
Stan Mosley. Okay, one group you would like to see come on Old School
One,
Tuesday turn up.
you gotta put them bad spinners in there.
The Spinners.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So you said Millie Jackson, Stan Mosley, and the Spinners you would like to see come on Old School Tuesday turn up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
That'd
talking
be
about.
great.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, and also you didn't say who that guy, that last picture we showed. You didn't say his name. That was everyone. That last picture. That was Otis Williams from the Temptations. That's who that was. If you guys was curious, that was who that was in the picture. The very last picture.
That's not
Yeah.
the guy that we talked to. We talked to Otis. That's what I said about Otis. Otis, I didn't announce his name, but I told you, that's the guy I was bought hamburgers from when I first started. That's my man. We're still friends today.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Millie Jackson is a good choice. I've been wanting her to come out here, and I love me some Millie Jackson. Love from Quake is my song. But anyway, anyway, we're gonna bring Tall Boy in here because he got to be seen. Tall Boy wants to come in, probably ask just probably 2 or 3 questions. He wants to be seen. So Tall Boy, why don't you come in here and ask your question? Because I already know he got to be seen.
That's
He wants to be heard.
suspicious.
I tell you that comedian, my favorite comedian is Bernie Mac.
Oh, it's Chicago. Chicago's own. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm a Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence girl. I'm a huge Martin Lawrence fan. I grew up on some Martin. I love me some Martin Lawrence. So I'm Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, straight out. But Bernie Mac, oh man, shot ties on. Chicago's in the building. But
Have
all
you ever
right, here
heard
he
of,
comes.
you ever heard of Nelly Travis?
I heard of what now?
Nelly Travis?
I think so.
She's dynamite. You should put her on your show.
Yes. All right.
What's going on, sir? What'd you think of the production? We took you down memory lane. What'd you think?
It was great. It was great, man. You know, and she is a dynamite person. She's going all the way.
That's a beautiful thing. You mentioned earlier that you did a lot of work for free and a lot of performances, a lot of singing. How did you sustain during that time? That's question one. And then the second part of that question is, what was the first check and how much was it?
Well, that was the first lesson to learn when you don't get paid. That's so you start getting paid before you go on stage, not after you get off stage. We had to learn that lesson. We used to go on stage and excited to get on stage. By the time we get off the stage, we couldn't find a promoter to get paid. But our first check, we was one of the blessed ones because we had top management. And our first check was almost about 50 grand.
Mm, okay. 50,000. I'm speechless. 50,000. Okay. Man, 50,000. Now you said you were a computer guy, and as you can see, I'm the computer guy as well. We had this whole pandemic, and with this pandemic, a lot of people were forced to do shows online as far as doing interviews and being able to communicate with people just to stay relevant. What do you think of this new technology that's out here to where you can connect with your audience as opposed to just not only just seeing them at a show or at a CD at a record store. Now you can connect with them online. What are your thoughts on that?
What I think is a blessing because a lot of promotion, just like I got my promotion with the Rio Hotel, is running all right now. You just couldn't do that. You couldn't run your commercial over and over on your page like that. On Instagram, we run our commercial on Instagram, Twitter. You couldn't do that back in the day. You had to deal with that with that finance. So you can do a lot of things now. You can make up your own posters now. You can make up your own flyers. You can do everything now with that computer.
Yeah, that's true. True statement. You said you're not a big fan of rap. Is there a reason why you were never a big fan of rap? Because you say you've now embraced it um, now that certain artists have, taken the hold and said, let me sample your music. Is there a certain reason why rap was never your
Well, the
thing?
reason Well, the reason why I didn't like rap at first, I didn't understand it, number one. Number two is I'm used to real music and I'm used to real instruments playing. When they start changing, sampling, playing not the real bass, playing not the real drums, playing not the real horns, it was taken away from the musical side of really learning how to play that music. Now you got some of the top guys out there, some of the top rappers out there, and some of the top producers out there, the young people. They know how to read that music, so they took the time and to take the lessons to learn that. And see, you need to really learn the chords. You need to learn what key. You need to know all these things. That's part of your schooling. And they took that out and started just putting anything, just finding a beat and putting anything, saying anything you want to say, and it took away from the real side of the music and the real happiness of the music. And if you know how to play drums, you should know what measures you're playing. How many measures on the beats? Where you go to? Okay, when you're playing a horn, like you're playing a harmonica, playing the saxophone, you're learning something like that, and you can go a long ways with that.
These HBCUs, the historically black colleges, when they do their bands or their halftime performances, they play the old school music. Have you ever had an opportunity to do anything with an HBCU to perform with one of the bands at halftime, or if there was an opportunity to do it, what school or what college would you want to do it with if you haven't had a chance to do it?
Well, we did it at Southern University. We did that over in Baton Rouge. We did that one. That was great. We did so many colleges. So I mean, over the time, we did the one when the Commodores was coming up. They opened up the show for us at their college, and look at them. They end up being superstars. Okay, that was in Tuskegee, Alabama. We came there to do it, and we did the same thing there. But yeah, okay, let's go back to the musical side. If you don't know how to read music, how could you teach the big bands your music if you don't even know how to read it?
Right, right. There's a big thing with taking arts and taking music, and everything's all about sport, but they're taking the arts out of the schools. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you, or what do you think we can do to keep the arts in the schools, if that makes sense?
Well, I tell you one thing. If don't people don't vote for that and really get on top of that, they can do whatever they want to do. But you know what? It's not going to stop the independent people from still learning their lessons. If you want it bad enough, you'll go get it, whether it's in school or outside of school. But it should be in the schools, and that's what makes it what it is for real. That's what we learned it from Captain Walter at Doosa High School. Look who come out of there. Ella Fitzgerald, Jones, satellites. I mean, just look at the on and on. Okay? And you need it in the schools. That's where you should learn it at because you're growing into something that you like to do.
Mm, okay. That's what's up. No, I mean, I think that's one of the things you said, that you picked up the drums at 3 years old, and that was something that was, I'm not going to say forced, but that was something that you started at a very young age. And to hear someone saying that they've been playing an instrument since, before they could really know their ABCs, that speaks
Right.
volumes. And then to know that we're dealing with arts being removed from the schools, it's like, how do you have a band, or how can you get a scholarship to go to college and be able to perform at a halftime performance if they don't have the arts, if that makes any sense?
That's
And
right. Well, you're smart enough to, and if you want to do something bad enough, you'll do it because that's what you want to do. But they try to keep you away from sometimes of being successful on that side. They want you to do other things, but everything is not for everybody. Okay, my thing was is an artist, a musician. So that's for me. Everything works for me doesn't work for somebody else. You
mm,
see? So you do what you feel in your heart to make it out of yourself. You're responsible for your own self in your career. You cannot put that on nobody else because you didn't make it. You didn't do it. If you try hard enough and want to do it, it'll work.
mm. You spoke, and I'm gonna wrap up after this. You spoke about Don Cornelius earlier, when he was a police officer, and how he got the opportunity to start the local show in Chicago. One of my favorites, God rest her soul, Denise LaSalle and Bobby Rush was up in Chicago. Did you get an opportunity to hang out with either one of them, Bobby Rush or Miss LaSalle? And what
Both
was
of
that?
them.
And what was that experience like? Come on, you got to tell us
Oh,
some real stories.
well, Bobby Rush was at Brunswick with us down in that's how I met Bobby, with Carl Davis downtown Chicago. And look at him now. He's doing a great job all over the world. Denise LaSalle, wow. We had a wonderful time. We was on the South with Denise down in Alabama doing shows with her for a while. That was a
Mm,
great time. She was a great talent. I think she was from Alabama, I think she was.
okay.
Oh no, Tennessee, some part of Tennessee, they said.
Right, Tennessee.
Right.
And Bobby Rush is from Mississippi, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he be in Jackson, Mississippi all the time with the radio station there.
That's right. That's right. Um, Now, with the band, I gotta ask: when somebody was late, what was the fine or what was the punishment when people were late with the band? If that makes sense.
Half, that's half this salary.
So the cut of 50,000 that y'all got, they lost half of that.
Well, sometimes you can lose all of it. It's according to when they can sue you when you come in late for a show, and they can cut you off the show. Now, 50,000 might seem a lot to you all, but wasn't nothing to us. They had to cut that up 4 ways, and then you had to pay the management office. Then you had to pay the agency that booked it. So it's not a lot of money.
Mm, wow. I'm looking at some of the comments here. They say Tracy Mathis says, "Thank God Detroit Public Schools, community schools brought back music." And Shirley says, "Would you sign her book if I see you in person at the Rio Hotel in Vegas?" That's what Shirley says.
Yep. So you get a sign.
Oh, so you do a meet and greet after the show?
No, sometimes we go down and talk to the people after the show, but not all the time, But it's according to how your feel is, how you are you tired or what. But our show is up close and personal anyway, so
Mm,
you always get a chance to see us because you're up close and personal. It's not like we're doing arenas like we've been doing for years and years. We're up close and personal in Las Vegas, so you get a chance to really do your thing. That's why people is really coming out to the Rio Hotel at the Dumo Room. It's a champagne brunch. That's what we're singing at.
so you get brunch and
On
you get
Sun-
some entertainment.
Yep, champagne brunch on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That's when it starts.
So don't be late, ladies. Come on down. Get there on time. Priscilla, be on time when you get down there on February 19th or whatever the March date is. Be on time, Priscilla. Priscilla gonna be backstage with you because she's trying to get in the movie. That's what it is, Mr. Thompson.
Right on, right
Go
on.
ahead, Priscilla. You got
Well,
it.
she probably won't. time out there. I tell you, like I said again, Chris coming up, the families, all that. These kids should think about their families, mother and father, to treat them to Las Vegas at the Moolah Room to enjoy themselves right at the Dumo, right Dumo Lounge there. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. There was in the comments, someone did say when you talked about when you guys will perform and get off stage, promoters will be gone. People was talking about Aretha Franklin. Even I know this. Before Aretha did that stage, you had to pay her money up front, and she'll take that purse out there with her with her money in it, and she does let you know she got paid so she can perform.
Right. You get paid before you hit the stage. Then you know you got your money. If you're not grinning, you ain't got no money, so you ain't going on that stage.
What's your Marsha? What's your definition of a janky promoter? They got a movie with Ice Cube and Mike Epps called Janky Promoter. What's your definition of a janky promoter?
What do you mean, a jive promoter?
No, janky. Yeah, they call it janky promoter. What's your definition? Or a jive promoter?
Well, stay away from them.
Yeah, but what's your definition of one? That's what she want to know. Like, how do you know that they're a janky promoter?
Yeah,
because
right.
you didn't get your money up front. You get your money up front, it's good.
You said if you get your money up front, what?
You get your money up front, everybody's good. You come to get paid. You didn't come there to worry about somebody running off with your money doing your job. You get your money up front.
All right. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's true. True. That is true. Yeah. And I like when you said the comment about if what works for you is not going to work for everybody, like this works for me. This is me being a host, and everything. This works for me. This not going to work for everybody. Can't come on camera ready, be ready to talk. And everybody, I like when you said that, and everything that's when you got to work on self, and what's good for you is not going to be good for everybody else. That's why. Do you feel sometimes, Marshall, there was one question I remember asking someone. Do you feel like did you pick the talent, or do you feel like your talent picked you?
Well, I would say I pick the talents most. When I do, you talking about when I book other acts as well?
No, your talent, like your gift, the gift that God has given you.
Oh, the gift that God had gave me because I grew up with a family musically inclined like that. I mean, it just comes to me. I can when it's real music. I can tell when you're playing around. I can tell when you don't really know your music. I know all of that because I grew up that way. I grew up with the Spanish, the Eldorados, the Dales, all those groups could sing. They didn't have to have even music behind them. So if you grew up with those type of acts, then you really know how to really sing. Just you listen to the Charlotte music, Coldest Days of My Life. Listen to the harmony on those. We could have did those songs without even the music to it. It was turned out all right.
Okay. All right. Before I end out right here, one last question. Last year there was Swizz Beatz and Timbaland were doing the verse battles between, everybody. Would you be interested in doing a verse battle between you all? Let's see, the OJs, other groups from back in the 70s. Well, how would you feel like doing a verse battle? Because I know I heard they get ready to come back next year with the verse battles.
Well, I think our verse battles days are over. Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's what I was starting to say. Marshall, thank you for being here on episode 44 of Old School Tuesday Turnup. Thank you so much being here. Everyone, go check Marshall out. He's on all social media platforms. Please, if you can, go check out next year. He's at the Rio casino in Las Vegas. Go to them shows. It's on Sunday. You can listen to music, sit there, and you can. And Cheryl, make sure you get Shirley Pete, get your book so he can sign it for you and go and interact. And if you meet him, take a picture. Make sure. And Tracy. Oh, before we go, wait, Marsha, wait. Tracy, your fan here. She had a big request. She said she did ask for you to sing. She wants you to sing. you know, this is the lady from Soundcheck. So she made in a comment earlier. She would like to hear you sing.
Well, that's what you got the records for. Play the record. But I doesn't sing without vocal sound check, number one. Okay. But I tell you what, when she come to Las Vegas, she can hear all the singing she wants. And I would dedicate it to her. I would dedicate Hold On to Your Dream. This old world very cold. I'd sing all night to her.
All right. And you know what? I know Tracy Mathis, and I'll make sure. And when she lets me know she's coming to Vegas, Marshall, I'll let you know. So you know that she's there that night and you can see right to her. This is special dedication for the young lady Tracy who saw me on Old School Tuesday Turnup, and dedicate her to her just like that.
That's a bet.
You already
okay.
know.
There you go, Tracy. There you go, Tracy. You got you. All right, you got you. All right now. All right. I want to thank you, Marshall, for being here on Old School Tuesday Turnup. But Marshall, don't go anywhere yet. We're gonna talk to you behind the scenes. I want to thank you all for being here and watching Mr. Marshall Thompson right here from Shy Lights. And I'm glad you all enjoyed the interviews. You guys heard the stories. I mean, to go back, make sure to tell your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know what you're all thinking, Tall Boy. I'm pretty sure they already asking you probably before you guys hit me up and bug me out. You gonna have a show next week? Yes, we will have a show next week. Episode 45 is next week. The one, the only, we still going, we hitting up with legends. The one, the only, Tommy Jenkins from Cameo. Yeah, Cameo. We taking it to Cameo. He will be here. And I'm pretty sure, Marshall, you know Tommy Jenkins from Cameo.
Oh yeah, super.
Yeah,
super.
he's going. Yes, he's going to be here next week for episode 45. So tune in, guys. Same time.
Now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
Yes, episode 45. I know, Marshall, can you believe that? Episode 45. Can you believe that? 45. I cannot believe that. That's a blessing. That is. But Marshall, you know what I do want though? I still want one more person to come on for the last Tuesday of just before this year end for December. We'll talk about that behind the scenes. Maybe Marshall can give me that one last person before I end out this year. One more person, because Marshall, even you can relate. I can tell you right now, I get hit up all the time. If I'm not on air, people will sit there, they hit up Top Boy, they will hit up me. When's your next show? Who you having on? You know how it is. When you can't stay away fans, that's when you know you got true fans. So, I get it. I totally get it. But to let you all know, yes, Old School Tuesday Turnup will be back next week for episode 45. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Marshall is a class. Colleen Jenkins said Marshall is a class act. Renee Jemison, it went off, but yes. Marshall Thompson, Last Man Standing, Shy Lights, godfather of the vocal group's Last Man Standing. All right now, yes. Thank you, Renee. Love you. Tracy said, love you, Marshall Thompson. There you go. There she go. All right. Thank you, show. Great show, number 44. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. You guys have a good night. Stay tuned, and we will see you all next week, same time, same place. Next week will be episode 45 right here on Old School Tuesday Turnup. I'm Pricilla Watley. That was Marshall Thompson. My boy, Tall Boy, is going to take us out with some music. You guys enjoy the rest of your night and have a good week. I'm out of here till next week. Holla. And Marshall, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to you behind the scenes. Drop that music.